This week I want to share with you a very important tip for video surveillance. Hi, Larry K, ShadowAnyone.com, and the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide series, Premium Private Investigator Training, from someone who's been there and done that. And specifically in the Investigator's Ultimate Guide to Surveillance, I explain this one elemental thing, this one important thing I'm going to share with you again here, but I'm going to add on a little bit to it just as a way of example. And that thing is, when you're doing video surveillance, and a lot of times you'll be in a car, in a van, that type of thing, right? You want to avoid, as much as you can, panning and tilting and zooming the camera, zooming in and out, moving the camera around, looking around all over the scene. You want to kind of find and frame that scene in a way that captures what you're going to need to capture and more or less leave it there. It makes it much easier for the clients when they're watching the video. It makes a much just a much better piece of video to have a nice still camera that captures what you need. The temptation is going to be, especially when you're working from a distance, you're going to zoom in and see, maybe you're going to watch the front door of the house. You're looking for them to leave, but then you're going to look over to the side. You have to move the camera, it's so far away, over to the garage door to make sure the garage door is still down, or check the driveway, or that type of thing. Choose something, if you can, where you're panned out enough to where you're catching the front door and the garage door and the driveway. Then when you see movement, you're going to initially, yes, you're going to zoom in and make sure you got a good enough shot of your subject's face that they can be identified on the film, but move it right back out, watch the main thing, and try not to move the camera around too much. Now here's the little bonus thing I'm going to give you. If you think that there's going to be a car accident, and you don't think this ahead of time, right? You don't go out on the surveillance thinking, oh, the subject might bump into somebody or back his truck into a dumpster or something like that. But when you're there, and in the moment when you see the car starting to move, you see another vehicle coming along, and you have that moment or two where you go, oh no, stop moving the camera. Even if you're not framed perfectly, even if it's not exactly where you would want it to be, stop moving the camera and capture the fender bender or the accident. Now, on a big accident, even if the camera's moving, you're going to still be able to tell that it happened. But it's still not going to be as good a footage as if the camera was still. And on smaller accidents, maybe your subject's pulling into a parking space and you're like, he's not going to fit. Stop moving the camera. Because when the camera is still and his car or truck bumps into the other car, you'll see that other car wiggle and move just a little bit, and it'll show up on film well for you. So the key element here, what I want you to learn today, is if you think there's going to be a car accident, stop moving the camera, and that way you can capture the motion of the moving vehicle, both vehicles, or the vehicle that gets struck. It's going to make much better footage. If your camera is still moving, and I'm warning you about this, if you're moving the camera around when there's a fender bender or your subject hits a parked car, you're not going to be able to tell on the film that they hit that parked car. The camera's moving so much the movement of the parked car isn't going to show up. So there's my tip for you. It'll really save you if you get into one of those situations. Thank you for watching. This has just been something that is not going to happen very often for you, but when it does, you're going to be really glad that you learned this. This is Larry K, ShadowAnyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.